All right, we are here live in Damascus, Maryland. You guys are probably wondering, what in the world are these guys doing in Damascus, Maryland? Well, we came to eat at the Hornet's Nest Grill. Best place in Damascus, Maryland to eat.
If you come, you need to go. It's awesome, really awesome.
Place. Actually, we are here as part of our tour champions. We don't just go to the game site and cover the game and go home. You guys know that by now with TCI. If we have a chance to work in a visit on the way, we do that. So we're actually here tonight to see the nation's top prospect, Brian Breesy, Ryan Linthicum. Check those guys out in game action as part of our tour champions. So you'll have a lot of coverage on that tonight and this weekend. We thought we would do our preview and prediction show right here in front of this fine establishment. Really the second I ate here when I was here for Breesy's announcement. We came back today. Great place. Everybody's going to be decked out in Hornet's Nest gear at the game tonight. Bart thinks it's 20 degrees over there. He's had 8 cups of coffee.
I got my
And
Hornet's
he's
Nest.
got his Hornet's
It was
Nest
cold.
grill. You know, he's like put his hoodie on earlier when we walked outside. I mean, it's maybe 68 degrees. So if y'all down in Clemson where it's 95, just, pray for us tonight, see if we can get through this. All right, let's turn our attention to Syracuse. Will, keys to the game, what do you think is the key to the game for Clemson victory tomorrow?
Well, the first one is, like Coach Swinney says, just make sure the quarterback stays healthy. 3 years in a row, Clemson's
Okay, Will's done.
3 years in a row, the quarterbacks got knocked out. So, and the key is second quarter. All 3 times, Deshaun Watson, Kelly Bryant, and Trevor Lawrence all got knocked out in the second quarter.
Will's going to go in later and analyze at what point in the second quarter.
I want to see how close the minutes are, because that's just too coincidental that it's happened 3 times like that. But the main key for Clemson and what's troubled them the last 2 years is they've turned the football over against Syracuse, especially early in the game, and it's cost them. It's allowed Syracuse to get momentum and confidence. I think the number one thing, and Dabo has stressed that all week, is take care of the football. I think if they do that, I think Clemson's going to be okay.
All right, Gavin, Mom helped him, prepared him. He brought his jacket. He's repping the national championship game. So I do have my flip-flops. Don't have them on right now. We're going to make a game-time decision tonight on those. Gavin, what's your key to victory?
Well, Will kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, protect the quarterback, but that starts up front on the offensive line. Syracuse has a couple big-time pass rushers, or at least they posted double-digit sacks apiece last year. They've been held in check for the most part so far this year. So in order for Clemson to win, they need to continue to do that, protect Trevor Lawrence, and also, like Will said, can't turn the ball over. That's the only way Syracuse is going to be able to hang around with Clemson is if Lawrence and company turn the ball over. Otherwise, I don't see this being a close game.
All right. Both these guys go offense, so I got to go defense. Surprising Will didn't go defense. Mr. Defense over there. For me, it's easy. Clemson defense, play like you did last week. If you do that, Clemson wins by 40, 50 points. All the attention on Clemson's offense and all of that. But if Clemson's defense plays the way they did last week against Texas A&M, Syracuse offense, their quarterback has been struggling compared to what they had in previous years with Dungy. So Clemson defense comes out and plays well tomorrow. I think that's my key to the game. All right, let's get into our prediction mode, make our big predictions for tomorrow night. It's going to be hot in there, guys. We're playing in the Dome. I still call it the Carrier Dome. Will says we can't call it the Carrier Dome because it's not in the media guide anymore. The Syracuse Online paper calls it the Carrier Dome, so I'm still calling it the Carrier Dome. So, Will, for the Carrier Dome game tomorrow night, what is your prediction?
You mean the Dome. If the school says it's the Dome, it's the Dome. Clemson calls it Death Valley, so it's Death Valley. So it's the same way. They call it the Dome, it's the Dome. And the reason why there's some...
I thought it was a Memorial Stadium at Death Valley.
Well, true. It's called that as well. But regardless, there's some issues with Carrier as a sponsor and all that going on, and that's why they've taken them off as the Carrier Dome anymore. So anyway, I think this game, they're going to come out. Syracuse is going to come out a little emotional because of the way they played last week. I think Dino Babers, I have him playing better because, let's be honest, that's not really how his teams have performed the last few years in games. They have always been physical, they've always been tough, and they've always at least been competitive. They haven't they just got it handed to them last week. So I think you'll see a different Syracuse team. However, I think this Clemson team is very focused. They know what Syracuse did 2 years ago. They know what Syracuse did last year. They're going to be very focused on Syracuse and to come out and prove, leave no doubt, as this is called the Leave No Doubt Tour. And I think that's what you're going to see. I got Clemson 41, Syracuse 17.
All right, that was almost my prediction last week. Gavin, Mr. Panther fan, what's your prediction?
Well, as Will said, 2 years ago, everybody on that team knows what happened. They know, even the freshmen, they've heard it from Dabo and the other players what happened 2 years ago. They slept walking into that game 2 years ago. This year, they're going to be fired up and ready to go because they know this is Syracuse's Super Bowl tomorrow. Syracuse has been looking forward to this game even in the offseason. First sellout, since 1998 in Syracuse, I believe?
Correct. Yeah, against Tennessee.
And so, they're going to be ready. The fans are going to be ready. That should energize Clemson alone. Dabo's talked all week about how he enjoys going on the road because it kind of energizes you when everybody's pulling against you. So Clemson should have no problem getting up for this game. I think, when you look at it on paper, talent-wise, it's no contest. Clemson's got so much more talent than Syracuse, and that should play out on the field. I'm going Maryland, I believe, put up 63 on Syracuse last week. I think Clemson will come close to that. I got Clemson winning 59-13.
All right, now for the real prediction. Hopefully Clemson does a lot better than either this sorry team or that sorry team. Yeah. Clemson needs to play Clemson football. I'm going to have to go a little bit higher, I think. I know that's a shocker. Last week I didn't. I think quite frankly, Syracuse's defense is horrible. We saw that last week with what Maryland did against them. We saw a little bit of that in week 1. I think Clemson's going to score early, score often. I think when Chase Bryce comes in this year in the second half, it's going to be a much different Chase Bryce, who's played really well this season. So I think Clemson's going to keep on scoring because Dabo's going to keep running that same offense.
He's coming in only because
the game's done out of hand, not because Trevor's on the sideline because he decided to tackle a interceptor or something. I'm going to go Clemson 63. This score might be familiar to you guys. Syracuse 17. So that's my prediction for this week.
Where did that score come from?
Stay tuned to TCI all weekend long. We got everybody else is up there at Dinosaur Barbecue. We're going to be working hard for you guys tonight, covering Brian Breesy, Ryan Linthicum. Tomorrow we'll be up at Syracuse. We'll have tons of stuff all day Sunday for you. So stay tuned to Clemson Insider, the most complete, we're showing that again this weekend, coverage of Clemson football and recruiting.